The VW Beetle is a car that I thought was called the VW Bug for my entire childhood and teens. I thought the Beetle was a completely different model. I didn't find out they were the same car until I was past the age of 18. There's no excuse, but that's when it happened. Now for the record, I've never owned a VW Bug. So we are going to dig into the past, into history back, and find some VW Beetle weird on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. First, like, subscribe, share the channel. I mean, it's not going to grow on its own, people. Now, when I was in high school, there was a car club at a neighboring high school called the Low Budget Buggers. I believe most of them were related, but they drove and restored these beautiful late 60s, early 70s VW Bugs, street racers. However, they were lowered and they often had to drive around speed bumps or their car would bottom out or get stuck. Now, I always wanted one, never had the drive and determination to get one. They require a lot of work and attention, and my relationship with cars has always been one kind of abuse and neglect. Now, what about you? Ever had a Beetle, Bug, VW? What type and year? Put that down in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, what we all need to know. The Volkswagen Beetle, often called the Bug, is a small, quirky car with a rather unusual origin. It was initially designed in the 1930s to be an affordable, practical vehicle by Hitler's regime in Germany. Despite its very murky beginnings, it quickly became a cultural icon, loved for its distinctive design and surprising durability. With its unique engine placement and oddly charming shape, the Beetle was both a reliable ride and a symbol of counterculture in later years. Over time, it went from being a humble, utilitarian car to a beloved classic with a devoted fan base. Almost obsessive fan base. From its humble and controversial start, the Beetle has proved that even vehicles with a complicated history can achieve lasting success and fame. Everybody got that? Good. Weird thing number 5. The unlikely birth of the Volkswagen Beetle. In the 1930s, Adolf Hitler, yes, that guy, decided Germany needed a people's car that was affordable, reliable, and small enough to park at rallies. Enter Ferdinand Porsche, the car designer tasked with bringing their vision to life. Porsche, who probably just wanted to stay on the dictator's good side, created this prototype for what would later become the Volkswagen Beetle. Now, the car was meant to symbolize modern German engineering, sleek, functional, and efficient. And instead, it kind of looked like a bug with body image issues. But hey, that compact round shape, pure genius for aerodynamics and standing out in parking lots. The Beetle could hold a family of 4, hit a top speed of 62 miles an hour. In reality, that's probably downhill with a tailwind, and it was cheap enough for the average Germans, assuming they ever got one. Spoiler alert, they didn't. The plan to mass-produce Beetles hit a bump when World War II rolled in. Instead of churning out happy little cars for German families, the factory switched to making military vehicles like the Kubelwagen, basically a Beetle in combat boots. In America, years later, that design, we called it the VW Thing. Now, after the war, the British Army stumbled upon the shattered factory and decided to revive the Beetle to help revive the German economy. Now, by the 1950s, the Beetle had become a symbol of peace and love, ironic given its origins. Americans adored its quirkiness, and by the 1960s, it was the darling of counterculture. Somehow, the car that started as a propaganda project became a global icon of freedom. So the Beetle's history may have started in darkness, but it drove straight into the light, with a horn that seemed to say, "Don't judge me for my past, look at my future." Weird thing number 4. The VW Beetle had something for everyone. The Volkswagen Beetle isn't just a car, it's a shape-shifting icon, proving that even the oddest of designs can be wildly versatile. Now, over the years, it transformed from an affordable people's car into a symbol of counterculture, a military workhorse, even a Hollywood star. Herbie the Love Bug's career alone could fill a book of its own. Now, in the 1950s and 60s, the Beetle became a favorite for everyone from the average Joe to aspiring hippies looking for a quirky ride that screamed, "I'm different," without actually saying it out loud. It was affordable, reliable, and could be customized to fit any personality, whether you were into peace, love, or just wanted a car that wouldn't quit after 50,000 miles. But the Beetle didn't just cater to flower children. It was also used as a military vehicle during World War II. The same cute design that made it a hit with families was also perfect for the rough and tumble world of wartime production. Military variants were rugged, ready to tackle terrain that would make modern SUVs cry for their mothers. When it wasn't transporting troops or spreading peace signs, the Beetle could also moonlight as a work vehicle. Now, by the time it hit the 21st century, the Beetle was embraced by collectors and nostalgia lovers alike. Who knew a car with such an odd history could leave such an enduring legacy? From family transport to military might to counterculture hero, the Beetle proved that even the weirdest cars can still have the longest of runs. Weird thing number 3. The Herbie the Love Bug movies were a marketing scheme. Now, Herbie the Love Bug was, in a way, a very clever marketing scheme, but not for VW. It was Disney riding the coattails of one of the most popular cars in the world to promote a movie. The movie managed to transcend its origins and become something far more iconic. In 1968, Disney wasn't just making a movie about a car, it was using the Volkswagen Beetle to add charm and mystery to a car that was, at the time, most known for being, well, a reliable but quirky family vehicle. Now, the Beetle had already earned its spot in the world as a car you could trust to get you to the beach or the grocery store, but Herbie? He was a superstar. This lovable, race-winning, sentient car with a mind of its own turned the humble Beetle into something far more charismatic than anyone could have imagined. Disney wasn't just promoting a car, it was making the Beetle cool. A car that could feel things? Now that's next-level marketing. It was like turning a toaster into a romantic comedy star, and VW got all this press for free. By casting Herbie as more than just a car, he was a race car, a hero, even a troublemaker. Disney tapped into something magical. They made the Beetle feel alive, adding personality to a model that was known for being practical, reliable, and a bit boxy. It wasn't just a marketing ploy, it was genius. Suddenly, everybody wanted a car with character. You didn't just get from point A to point B with Herbie, you went on a wild, race-filled adventure. Now, while Volkswagen was never officially behind any of the films, they certainly benefited. The Beetle's place in pop culture was completely cemented. And every time somebody saw a bug, they might have thought, is that Herbie's cousin? Disney's marketing magic turned an ordinary car into an enduring piece of cinematic history. Not bad for a little bug-shaped vehicle with a race car heart. Weird thing number 2. The VW Beetle also works for a living. The Volkswagen Beetle was not just a car for families and lovable racing heroes. It was also a surprisingly capable commercial workhorse, handling everything from delivering goods to being pressed into service as taxis. Its small size and distinctive appearance made it the perfect candidate for more than just casual joyrides. It became a vehicle that did the dirty work while still managing to look cute doing it. In many countries, the Beetle was the backbone of the taxi industry. Forget the typical cabbie's car. The Beetle, with its compact size, was perfect for darting through traffic, dodging potholes, making the driver feel like a tiny speedster. Plus, it had the durability of a cockroach. So when the roads became more like obstacle courses, the Beetle just shrugged and kept going. Some cities even had Beetle fleets specifically dedicated to carrying passengers from point A to point B in a car that was more charming than most office workers on Monday mornings. In Mexico especially, they called it the Ocho. It was very common to take out the passenger front seat so that passengers could simply get in right into the back seat. Now, the Beetle also made its way into the world of deliveries. Want to ship something? Don't call an intimidating cargo truck, call a Beetle. With its surprisingly spacious trunk underneath the front hood and the ability to navigate through tight spots, the Beetle took on jobs you'd never expect a cute little car to handle. But of course, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. In some places, the Beetle was a hearse. That is correct, you didn't hear me wrong. This innocent, tiny little car was responsible for transporting the dearly departed to their final resting place. It's a reminder that no matter how cute or cheerful you are, life sometimes finds a way to turn you into something a little darker. Now, from taxis to delivery vehicles to even undertakers, the Beetle proved its worth in commercial life, proving that a car's versatility does not stop at its adorable exterior. It's got a work ethic that'll make an even more serious vehicle jealous. And finally, weird thing number 1. Parts are ridiculously easy to find. Unlike restoring a vintage muscle car where finding parts are most of the battle, the Volkswagen Beetle is the gift that keeps on giving, especially if you got a taste for aftermarket products and reproduction parts. The car's iconic design and relentless durability. Seriously, the thing is practically indestructible. They've created a thriving market for parts, accessories, even entire replicas. It's like Beetles won't just die, and neither will the supply chain that's keeping them running. Walk into any shop that caters to vintage cars and you'll find aisles lined with shiny new aftermarket products for the Beetle. Need a new set of bumpers to match your car's original style? Got it. Want a custom set of wheels that says, I love being quirky, but also kind of dangerous? You've got options. From exhaust systems to carburetors, there's no shortage of parts that can make your Beetle run like it's fresh off the factory floor, or make it sound like it's fresh off a racetrack. But it doesn't stop at the mechanical stuff. The world of aftermarket customization for the Beetle also extends to interior accessories that can make your car feel like a mobile tiki bar or an acid trip from the 1960s. Custom seats, dashboard decorations, shag carpeting, you name it, somebody has probably tried to install it in a Beetle. Some even go for full-on reproduction models down to the exact specifications from the 1960s and 70s, as if trying to replicate the past was going to solve something. And let's not forget the countless restoration projects. Enthusiasts are obsessed with resurrecting Beetles from the dead, often spending more on parts than the original car was worth. But in a way, it's fitting. The Beetle's resurrection is almost as legendary as Herbie himself. If you can dream it, you can probably bolt it onto a Beetle. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, if it pushed you to finally get that vintage bug, let me know. Send pictures. Do me a favor. Watch more of my videos. I would really appreciate it. Take care. Have yourself a great day.